Hello, Phillips. So I have a few questions. So I hope you can give me some good advice to the younger generation who are in their 20s.
Okay.
So I would like to start with this question. How old are you now?
I turned 45 this year.
45. And what does it feel like to be 45?
It feels kind of old.
Okay. You stay younger. Like you look younger.
I feel young, but my body is old.
And so physically, I guess when we're growing up, we feel a little bit exhausted. But mentally, how about mentally? How do you feel?
Mentally, I feel young. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's nice. And so the younger people, like in their 20s, so someone who are trying to achieve their life, like accomplish their goal, what do they really have to focus on in their life? What do you think?
Yeah, I think maybe a couple things to focus on would be really good. Maybe the first thing is to focus on maybe religion or spirituality. Looking for God is really important in one's life. I think also having a good job, working at a place that you like, with things that you love, and then maybe finding someone who you can live life with. So a partner, a husband or wife, is really good to focus on.
Oh, I got it. So what will be the top three like priority or values someone should focus on in their 20s?
Yeah, I definitely think you should finish school, and I think getting a university degree is very important. But then also finding a job that is good, that is so yeah, I think finding a job that is something that you like or love to do, and then you can also just work hard, and then saving money is important. I don't think a lot of Myanmar people save money, so if there's a way to save money or invest money is a good thing to do when you're young. And then also maybe finding someone to share life with is also very important.
And do you think that people in their 20s should get married in their 20s, or probably some people like the majority of people get married in their 20s, like in their late 20s or early 20s, but some of them, for some people, prefer to get married like after they have prepared everything like financially, mentally, and then they started to get married in their early 30s. So what do you think about that, getting married?
So my wife and I was 24 when we were married, and my wife was 26. She's 2 years older, so we were in our 20s. I think that's okay. I think if you have a job and you're able to support your husband or wife, I think that's important. So maybe having a good job that pays well, enough to pay for both people.
I got it. And I'm just curious that is it possible to be financially independent in our 20s? Do you think we can? Is this more for most of the younger people? Do you think they can achieve financial independence in their 20s or probably in their early 30s?
I think it's really hard. I think unless you have rich parents or you have an inheritance of some kind, or if you come into a lot of money, you have a windfall. So I think it's really hard to be independent when you're in your 20s.
Yes.
It is possible, but maybe you have to work really hard to get to that point.
I see. And a question just popped up in my mind. And so, do you think your belief in your 20s or change when you're growing up, like now, or probably in your 40s, right? So, do you think your beliefs change when you're growing up, like your perspective about life when you were younger is different or it stayed the same until now?
Yeah, I think when I was younger, I was focused on impressing people around me. So maybe buying like a fancy watch
I
or
see.
wearing fancy clothes, expensive clothes, or driving a nice car. I think that was important to me when I was in my 20s. But maybe as I grow older, I see that's not really important. And so I think I wasted lots of money on that instead of used it for something else better. So, yeah.
Property doesn't really give a value when, I mean, some people they value property, right? They want to have a car or any like property that they can save in their 20. So do you think a lot of people young people are trying to impress other buying like the way buying their outfits or like some other way?
I think it used to be a thing when I was in my 20s. I don't know if it's the same now. I feel like now this generation has different problems, but maybe, yeah, I think today, I mean, some people still have that idea that your property is important. But I think that people actually are more important than property. And so I value friendship and relationship now in my 40s more than I did in my 20s.
Could you describe one problem that the young people are facing right now nowadays?
It seems to be that the Gen Z people are struggling with anxiety and depression and just emotional health in general. We think that a lot of it has to do, or I've seen that a lot of doctors think that it stems from the smartphone, right? So maybe we're online too much on our phones, either social media or playing video games, or I don't know. There's many things you can do online, but maybe the younger generation right now are spending too much time on their phone, and it's causing problems with their emotional health.
Yeah, I also noticed the younger people. I think they are upset with social media. I think definitely right. And next question is, um, what will be the biggest regret or mistake that you had, but you learned a valuable lesson from that experience?
Yeah, I think just like what I was talking about earlier, maybe spending too much money on things and not people.
Yeah.
So I regret that. I wish I spent more time with people. I think living here has taught me that it is that people are more important than things, and so maybe in the West, like America, maybe the individual is more important, and so maybe if the individual is rich and has lots of property, they think that he is successful, but maybe he has no friends. But here in the East, I feel like it's more important to have a community of people that you support you and help you, and the relationship is more important.
So people like mentally they are not rich, but physically probably they're rich.
Yeah, so in the West, I think, yeah, many people are physically rich, but maybe they don't have the relationship connections that the people in the East do. Yeah. So maybe
Okay.
not as rich in that area.
So if you could go back to your younger self, like I'm in my 20s, like 24s. So if you could go back to your 24 years old self, which advice would you like to give to yourself? Like what would you like to say to yourself?
I would just say that just to focus on people and relationships with people, and not to focus on things or property, and that people are more important than things, and that you should value people highly.
Yeah. So one last question. This is gonna be the last one. So for personal improvement, do you have piece of advice for the young people who are trying to improve their life? What will be the best advice for the younger people?
I think reading is really important. I think now with smartphones and social media, a lot of people don't read books, but I think there's a lot of value in reading books. So that is advice I would give. I would also say that the advice from many people is good, but you have to filter out and you have to find which advice is the best.
I
Because
see.
maybe a lot of people can give you advice, but sometimes advice is good, sometimes advice is bad.
Yeah. How about traveling? Do you think traveling? Because some people like reading, but some people learn from traveling because they prefer to learn from the experience. So how about traveling?
Yeah, I think traveling is really important. I think if you never leave your country, maybe your view of the world is very small. But maybe if you go to another country, you'll see, oh, things are different in this country. And so maybe your view will be bigger and you'll see, oh, yeah, they do this here differently than we do where I live. And so, yeah, you have to, if you learn by experience, traveling is very helpful. Yeah.
How many countries have you been to?
I don't know off the top of my head. Probably five or
guess,
six.
six.
Yeah.
And do you wish to travel more, like in the future?
Yeah, I do love to travel. I love experiencing new food, new cultures, new people, new traditions. Yeah. I would like to travel more.
Thank you for your time. I think I got a lot of advice from you, and I'm gonna utilize all your knowledge and advice in my personal life. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate
Okay.
your help.